it may be working in his favor. But he's going into this recall election with California having a $76 billion surplus, with $27 billion in federal aid. And one reason why we have a surplus is because of that aid. Our unemployment rate is still more than 2 points higher than the national average at 7.6%, but the number of claims here is finally starting to fall as that federal $300 a week has ended. So, but even so, Jennifer, one in five unemployment claims filed the last week of August in the entire country came from California. So I'm interested to see how the end of that federal aid changes that number. Now, what's interesting about this recall election is the one name you have not heard at all brought up is the person who is the lieutenant governor of California, the person who would only become governor if the governor resigns, not if he's recalled. And as you'll recall, when I filled in for Handel, we could not remember the lieutenant governor's name, could we? You know it now.
Yes, now I know it.
Well, I still had to look it up yesterday. It's Elaine Pinero. And as you'll also recall, I suggested that KFI listener Eric Lozardo, who is hysterical at song parody, should come up with a song so we can help us remember her name, because no one knows who she is. He did, to the tune of the old Hawaiian Christmas song, Mele Kalikimaki, and take it away, Eric. Here it is.
Hey, Eric Lozardo making a Lane Kumalaka song.
This is a holiday to remember on any given day. This is a greeting that is sometimes difficult to say. Even though she's got a music right and gal, I don't think he really knows his name that well. Elaine Kumalaka is a real name. She's the lieutenant governor of PA.
Okay, I'll never forget it now. He is amazing.
Yes. And I did forget it, but now I don't think I will because of Mele Kalikimaka. Eric Lozardo, thank you so much. You bring so much joy to my life.
You know what? Eric and his family are going to join us at the Wiggle Waggle Walk September 19th at Brookside Park for Pasadena Humane Society. So, Jane, if you're not doing anything that morning, come join the team just so you
When
can
is
Eric.
it?
September 19th. It's a Sunday. Raises all the money goes to the Pasadena Humane Society.
Can I first know one? Because to tell you the truth, speaking of Mele Kalikimaka, Monday I leave for Hawaii again. Which I'll let you know if anybody's there, because the governor's asking people not to come, but I'm going anyhow.
Okay, well, it's all in the name of, work, obviously.
Right.
I'll
write something about it so I can write off the tip again, like I did for Ruth.
Absolutely. All right, that sounds good, Jane, and I'm sure Eric will appreciate that too. So all good. All right, so also when it comes to the economy and the recall, the stimulus check obviously helps Gavin. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. I would assume would help Gavin Newsom.
Well, the state sent out another round of these $600 stimulus payments, and the San Francisco Chronicle talked to some experts on whether it's going to make a difference in the recall. And the feeling is it's not going to hurt, but that most people getting the payments don't really know who to thank for it. So,
Okay, well, there's that. All right, so let's talk now Elizabeth Holmes and the trial that starts today. So go back over for everybody who Elizabeth Holmes is and why this trial is. It's so interesting because at first I just thought, okay, here's another person who tried to dupe us all in the name of technology, and then it just got more and more scandalous.
I call this the CNBC version of the O.J. Simpson trial, in the sense that it is the biggest business fraud trial. This is right in our wheelhouse, how big this is. So she dropped out of Stanford, started Theranos. She's now about 37 years old. Theranos had this incredible magical blood testing machine where you only needed a single drop of blood and could run all these blood tests, so people who were afraid of needles wouldn't have to do it anymore. The problem is, of course, it didn't work. And not only is she now accused of defrauding investors, including some people like Rupert Murdoch and Henry Kissinger, who was on the board, but she also is alleged to have, she did. They run these tests on patients. And some of the patients got incorrect test results. I mean, these could have deadly consequences. The trial starts today. Opening statements up in Silicon Valley. They seated a jury of 7 men and 5 women. She could face 20 years at least if convicted. She's pled not guilty to everything. She's probably going to throw her ex-boyfriend, who was 20 years older than her and the president of the company, under the bus. Defense papers suggest she's going to claim he abused her, even though the prosecution says she started lying about Theranos long before this boyfriend came on the scene. She currently has a boyfriend or partner, some say husband, no proof, who's 8 years younger than she is, who is the father of her brand new baby, and she will be given breaks during court to nurse the baby, which, if that comes up in front of the jury, could make them sympathetic. What may not make them sympathetic is CNBC has discovered she's staying at $135 million estate in Woodside called Green Gables during the trial. Nobody seems to know. She was once valued at over $4 billion, allegedly, on paper by Forbes. She doesn't allegedly have any money now, but nobody quite knows who's paying for the lawyers, who's paying for the rent on this estate, except that her new boyfriend, baby daddy, is a hotel heir named Billy Evans, so maybe he's coughing up the money.
Yeah, that's what so it's a rental. It's not, she doesn't own it. So we can't say that at least we know where 135 million of her dollars are. So what happened to all her billions? Where did they all go? Allegedly.
Well, all her billions were in Theranos stock, which plummeted in value when it came out that it was a house of cards and the company dissolved. So it's not clear. She's been living a pretty good life over the last year or so with Billy Evans, and the prosecution wants to bring this out to the jury, this whole jet set lifestyle she had before, to sort of, make it look like she is not very nice, which, of course, is their job. But, yeah, she's not staying in the main house, I should say, Green Gables. She's renting one of these 6 other properties, but I think she has access to one of the 4 pools over 74 acres.
I would think so. All right, SpaceX all-civilian trip is about to go. Then you got Virgin Galactic grounded. This cannot be good for Richard Branson watching Elon Musk take flight.
Well, yeah, so this is exciting. SpaceX, it's for the first time, is sending not astronauts to the International Space Station, but this 38-year-old billionaire named Jacob Isaacman. Yes, Jennifer, they're billionaires. They're like a dime a dozen now.
Yeah.
This guy created a company called Shift4, which is a payment processing company, so I guess that's how you get rich. Also reminds me of how Elon Musk got rich when he helped create PayPal. So Isaacman bought this trip. I don't know how much he paid for it. He's also a jet pilot, so he's going to be the pilot in the Dragon spacecraft as it takes off next week, probably on the 15th, maybe the 16th, with 3 other people he chose, including a woman who's a childhood cancer survivor who's trying to raise awareness for cancer treatment. And they're going to take off from Florida. They're going to, once the Dragon spacecraft separates from the rocket, they're going to circle the Earth for 3 days before splashing down at the Atlantic. And since they're not docking with the space station, they've removed that docking mechanism and replaced it with a big viewing window for them to watch the Earth and the sun and the stars for 3 days. I was thinking about it. I could do it for 1 day. At 3 days, after a while, after you circle the Earth the 10th time, maybe it's me. I'm sort of like, I'm good now. I'm good.
You're like, did anybody see anything? Did I miss something at marker mile 10? I don't know.
But you point out, Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson was the first to do the space tourism thing earlier this summer. They are now grounded because the FAA is investigating that very flight, saying that I think it was during liftoff, when they were during ascent, they went outside the flight path. They blame it on wind out there in New Mexico. But, so that's kind of a downer. And Virgin Galactic stock, which is public, unlike SpaceX, it has been down.
Okay, and finally, let's end on some downer news for the lovers of chicken tenders at KFC.
Yes, they're running short. They're running short of chicken tenders. They're so short they pulled the ads for it. One of the big reasons is it takes longer to make chicken tenders because it's boneless meat and there's a shortage of workers. So, if you love chicken, you can get bone-in chicken, no problem. But if you like your chicken tenders or your boneless wings, especially if you had in the football season, Prices have doubled in the last year, and there's a shortage. Between that and us having to have a voluntary brownout because of the grid, we're going backwards, Jennifer. We are going backwards.
We really are. All right, Jane, thank you so much. Follow Jane on social media at Jane Wells. It's always so much fun. Will I talk to you next week, or will you be in Hawaii?
It'd be too early. I'll be in Hawaii, but we'll talk when I come back, and I'll tell you all about what's going on over there.
Okay, sounds great. I'm actually looking forward to hearing that because there's a lot of people who go to Hawaii or were planning on it for Thanksgiving or Christmas. That's a big tourist time for them. So I'm curious as to what they can expect. So thank you for that, Jane. We'll look forward to it. Have a great time. Aloha. Aloha. All right, see you later. All right, when we come back, we will talk with Connor Finnegan a little bit on Afghanistan because you have the Secretary of State saying that don't worry about that word hostage, that the Taliban is not holding any U.S. citizens hostage there. But we do still have Americans there. So why aren't they out? We'll talk more about that. And also, the Taliban says there is a new government in Afghanistan that it runs, obviously. And we'll talk about why the U.S. is not recognizing that. So that's all straight ahead. Nick will tell us why it's slow on the 5 in Norwalk.
Not really sure. Well, this looks like it's a morning drive. Oh, no, absolutely got an answer for you on that one, Dan. Northbound side of the 5 now in Commerce. At Washington, getting reports of 3 cars smashed a bit as a left lane shut down. That is why you're seeing a rough go of it. Pretty heavy, actually, getting out of the Norwalk area. 5 northbound, so before the 605 out of the Santa Fe Springs adjacent area. Further northbound on the 5 is going to be short going for you out of Commerce and East LA off the 710. 5 northbound toward downtown LA and the 101. Northbound side of the 101 through downtown. Also pretty heavy for your drive from 4th as you make way toward the 110. The westbound side of the 10, Santa Monica Freeway. Seeing delays for you for before Alameda as you head toward the 110. Through South LA, 110 North. Looks like not too far from Vernon. It's possible some junk coming off those elevated carpool lanes that are heading into the main line. So it looks like cars serving to avoid the boxes coming out from above them. And that is going to be heavy for you. 110 northbound from Manchester to make your way toward the 10. KFI in the Sky helps get to there faster. I'm Nick Polliarchini.
The most important financial decision you'll make isn't picking the next top stock or fund manager. It's choosing the right financial advisor. How do you pick the advisor that's right for you? Find out in a special encore presentation of our virtual event with Rick Edelman on Tuesday, September 14th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. It's free. Register at EdelmanFinancialEngines.com. You'll get advice on how to select the right financial advisor. And you'll get a list of the 11 questions to ask before hiring one. Take this list with you when you interview financial advisors. And if you already have one, use the checklist to evaluate if they are right for you. You will get all the information you need, and Rick will make it fun and entertaining. It's free, so register right now for a special encore presentation of our virtual event on September 14th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. Register at EdelmanFinancialEngines.com. That's EdelmanFinancialEngines.com. This report is sponsored by Mercury Insurance. Saving money is smart, but you know, smarter? Bundling your home and auto policies with Mercury Insurance. You could save a few $100 and get amazing service, too. Get a quote today at MercuryInsurance.com. Mercury Insurance. Smart insurance for smart people.
Albert Pujols had a storybook ending in his return to St. Louis. The longtime slugger helped the Dodgers win by crushing a home run against his former team.
A great moment once again. It's the way to living with that guy. Personal guy was huge.
And former President Donald Trump will commentate Saturday's heavyweight boxing match between Evander Holyfield and Vitor Belfort. I'm Missy Jordan.
As a UPS warehouse worker, you can build a career to be proud of with a team that has your back. UPS is hiring starting at $18 per hour. Apply at upsjobs.com/shift. Make the shift. Make a difference. I had an electrician over at the house the other day. He popped open the panel on the side of the house and he goes, "Whoa, you have SolarMax technology?" And I said, "Yep, had it for a few years." And he says, "How is it?" And I said, "It's unbelievable."
And he immediately cranked that temp down to 60
He
degrees.
did, because with my SolarMax panels, my electricity is practically free.
SolarMax is local. They're right here in Southern California. They've got the best products and the best service going.
Yeah, it means exceptional quality control. SolarMax has no middleman, and I saved with even more because there was no upfront cost.
And they have the newest, most innovative Tesla products like the Tesla 420 panels and Powerwalls.
Dude, you're going to pay $0 down for that Tesla package and $79.96 per month with a 1.99% APR.
Call pound 250 from your cell phone. Say that keyword SolarMax. That's pound 250. Keyword SolarMax. Do it by September 30th for this great offer.
Monthly payment available on approved credit. The SLB number 97248. Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated, and divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone, but you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's California area attorneys. 1455 Crazy Road, Suite 500, San Diego, California, 92108. CordellCordell.com.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So, 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I know summer's almost over, but you know what won't stop? This face and this body. Yeah, I'll take a Wahlburger and sit front. And now the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
Shift, battle, fighter, and win. Just earn 500 points on your rewards card, and you're guaranteed to win up to $100 in cash or free slot play.
Number 4.
Go big on game day. Big games need big TVs, and we've got both at Morongo.
3.
Sapphire September giveaway. Hit a 1.5-quart sauce pot when you earn 500 points on your rewards card. The 13th or 14th.
Number 2.
Wahlburgers and Sideline Sports Bar are a winning combination. Burgers, beers, and a 30-foot video screen. Yeah, no brainer.
And the number 1 reason.
The legendary Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. Live September 16th.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times. Addressing hair loss has never been easier thanks to Advanced Hair Restoration's simple one-day treatment. The most difficult part? Making the call for your free consultation. Call 844-333-HAIR and get $250 off and 250 free hair grabs. AdvancedHair.com.
There once was a place where our differences did not matter, where strangers stood shoulder to shoulder, connected by an urge to help. To get back to that place, all we need to do is remember the 11th of September. 9/11 was a tragedy, but it was also a moment of togetherness. To honor the 20-year remembrance of 9/11 and those lost, let's do a good deed this September 11th. Let's never forget what we're capable of doing together. Do your good deed at 911day.org.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
I'm Steve Gregory. The attacks of 9/11 forever changed America and also marked the beginning of the war on terror. Join me for 9/11, 2 decades later, an exploration of decisions made to make Americans safer, and we'll attempt to answer the question, is America safer today than 20 years ago? This Saturday at 3 and 8 p.m. on KFI.
More stimulating talk.
No way. Eric Lozardo, how in the world you flipped that this morning, I have no idea, but you are incredible. Thank you so much. Wow, a personalized birthday song. This is crazy. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. I don't even know what to say. Just thank you again. Hey, a flex alert will go into effect because of the heat wave impacting California. Cal ISO says the flex alert will start at 4 this afternoon, and President Biden will soon announce a new strategy to get the country through the pandemic. The White House says President Biden will outline a 6-point plan to fight the Delta variant and get more Americans vaccinated. This announcement is expected to come tomorrow. So say good morning now to ABC's Connor Finnegan. So, Connor, let's get an update on Afghanistan and start with the Secretary of State and what he said about U.S. citizens being held in Afghanistan but not being held hostage.
Hey, yeah, good morning, Jennifer. That's right. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said that there are at least 100 U.S. citizens who are trying to get out of the country still. Over a week after that evacuation operation by the Biden administration finally ended. He said that these Americans are, some of them are in the northern city of Mazar-e-Sharif. They're part of this larger group of folks that have been trying to evacuate for a week now, but have not been allowed to take off by the Taliban. But he said it's not because the Taliban is holding this group hostage. It's not that there's anyone, waiting on planes on the tarmac. But there are folks within this group, Afghans, who do not have proper documentation, and because of that, the Taliban is not allowing them to leave, according to the Secretary of State. And so, these Americans who do have proper documentation are part of this larger group, and because of all of this, they've been unable to travel. It's kind of a stunning indictment in a way of the administration, who have said repeatedly that they have a commitment to getting any American who wants to leave out of the country. But here they are negotiating with the Taliban, urging them to allow some of these charter sites to leave, and yet at least 19 U.S. citizens are still stuck in this one city because they cannot get out on these flights. Elsewhere in the country, there are Americans who are trying to evacuate Kabul, waiting for the airport there to get back up and running. Others have made that really dangerous journey across land to Afghanistan's neighbors. There were 4 U.S. citizens who made their way to a neighboring country just yesterday. The State Department said that they helped to facilitate that travel, in particular, I think, at the border, giving them permission by that new neighboring country to transit there. But there were 2 Republican congressmen who were really pivotal in that evacuation operation as well, who said that the State Department really overstepped their boundary, really didn't do as much as they say they did, and that this was really a private operation to get this group of 4 U.S. citizens, a family of 4 from Texas, across the border to safety.
Okay, and I assume that the paperwork that these people have that are being told is not the proper paperwork, is probably by officials from the new Taliban government, which I guess is not yet being recognized by the U.S.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll see any recognition internationally, except for perhaps some of those countries that are closer to the Taliban, like Pakistan, China. But this new this new Taliban government is really full of shady characters that the U.S. has long sought to either capture or in some cases kill. There's actually a $10 million bounty on the head of their new acting interior minister, a man named Sirajuddin Haqqani, who has been the leader of a designated terrorist organization for years now, the Haqqani Network, really responsible for ruthless acts of terrorism, the deaths of so many U.S. and Afghan lives in Afghanistan over the last few years. And he'll now be in charge of domestic affairs, including law enforcement operations, as the interior minister. The head of this new government, Mohammed Hassan Akhund, was a Taliban official in charge of foreign relations back in the 90s when the Taliban was in power then. He is still sanctioned by the United Nations on a list of Taliban officials who are not permitted to travel abroad under UN Security Council resolutions. He was once described as one of the most effective Taliban commanders, and he'll now be in charge of this entire caretaker government.
Wow, it's hard to believe that anybody would want to have any dealings with him at all. This will be one we'll definitely keep an eye on. Thank you so much, Connor. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jennifer.
This is KFI and KOSTHD2 Los Angeles. And before I let you go, I have to tell you what might be my favorite birthday gift I have received so far this morning. Not that the Serenade by Tyler and by Nick, not that those weren't amazing, but one of a woman I consider to be one of the best news reporters in the country, and who I am blessed with calling one of my dearest friends. We were in each other's weddings, We covered, oh my gosh, we covered 9/11 together. We covered the Scott Peterson trial together. I lived in her closet. I'm not joking. Her closet in West Hollywood. Did you just say true story, Ingle?
I did say true story. It is a true story. I was thinking back to that time, and I don't know how we did it. You were broadcasting in one room. I was getting ready to run out the door for KFI in another room. There were 2 large cats involved.
Oh.
Mice in the walls.
Ripley and Jojo. Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, and I lived in her closet. That is the voice of your former KFI reporter, Laura Ingalls. Still a huge part of the KFI family. Still a huge part of my family. And she is going to join us next to co-host the Bill Handel Show, which we will get to right after traffic. And let's say good morning now to Jeff Boss, checking out the 101.
All right, you bet your boy. Who am I to follow Laura and Tyler and Nick, but Miss Jennifer? Happy birthday, girl.
Thank you so much.
Many, many more. All right, to traffic here. Let's get you going here. Good morning to you. Coming out of Calabasas, going to Encino. You're in good shape. Just keep on driving and hands on the wheel and just keep on motivating. All the way over to the 134. We just passed over the KFI studios and all is well. South 405 is busy, but there's nothing unusual going on. Now, right now, we're southbound coming up on the Glendale Freeway. This looks pretty good. Want to warn you about a couple of unusual problems we'll follow up on. One is the eastbound 210 at San Dimas Canyon. That's just a little bit past the 57. There's something going on there, and some delays. I'll check it out for you. The north 57 to west 210 routine, that metered transition is kind of slow, but nothing unusual there. And a problem heading towards the East LA interchange on the north 5 at Washington. There was something. I think it's clear, but I'll check it for you. But if you're coming up from Orange County, there might be a little slowing north of the 605. Don't go away, please. Injured in an accident. Visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Bond, KFI in the sky.
Seller's Advantage. You call them up if you want to get out of here. You can't live in a place where they won't let your kids go to school, all right? Your kids are going to get permanently damaged by this. And if they won't let you work, what's left here? Go where you can get a job. Go where the schools are open. Call Seller's Advantage. They'll buy your house as is. And they can make this happen quickly. You don't have to fix up your house. You don't have to clean it. There's no strangers walking into your home. Those open houses are dreadful. No such thing with Seller's Advantage. In fact, they'll close on your home in days if that's what you need, or months. They're highly reviewed on Google, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Seller's Advantage has purchased over 10,000 properties since 2007. BRE number 0196-1658. SellersAdvantage.com. Call them. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS.
I want to break free. Ready to break free? Make your dream vacation a reality with Norwegian Cruise Line and sail to the Caribbean, Europe, and more. With our leading health and safety program, you can cruise with the ultimate freedom and confidence. Book today and enjoy 30% off cruises, free open bar, and much more. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Offer ends soon. Norwegian Cruise Line. Sail safe, sail free. Just register to Bahamas and USA. Restrictions apply.
At Ralph's, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store. And you can pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care, because we treat your food the way we want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Ralph's, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with cards. Ralph, fresh for everyone.
SoCal weather from KFI, sunny and a little bit warmer even than yesterday. Highs will be 70s at the beaches, mid-80s to low 90s for Metro LA and OC, upper 90s, low 100s for the valleys and the IE. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your wake-up call. Handle on the news with Wayne and Laura. Starts now.
Handle on the news.
Bill Handel Show. He is still recovering from that heart surgery, but he's getting
closer and closer every day. Well, this is Bedlam today here on the show. It's all the good kind of Bedlam, but it's Bedlam nonetheless. I think first things first, Jen, I'm sorry, your birthday greeting's going to have to take second place.
Okay.
To the top item, which is co-hosting the show all morning, Fox News correspondent, former KFI reporter, Laura Ingle is here.
Woo! Wait a minute. Well, hello, and thank you very much for that. But come on, we got to say happy birthday to John.
We are going to. We'll get to it, but it necessarily
Happy birthday,
is.
John.
It's a second tier responsibility when we have an esteemed guest, a homecoming.
Oh boy!
Back in your own haunting grounds, where you did so much fantastic reporting work. There is something I need to share with you, Laura Ingle.
Ooh.
And that is my best friend, to this day, remembers and thinks about your coverage of the Scott Peterson case. Which apparently, really stuck with her.
Okay.
So, you made an impact while you were here.
You know, it feels like such a different time, and of course now we're coming back to more court coverage of him and on the 22nd, and it on and on and on it goes. But it really was a defining moment, and for everybody who joined us during that time, during the Scott Peterson trial coverage and the pre-trial coverage, and people will remember I was camped outside of his home before he was.
Hey, Chaz. Hey, Chaz. Take up and your
Oh.